What up there, guys? This is Jagged82, and this is going to be my review of WWE 2K16. Now, as you can see, I'm talking about wrestling games, and as you can see, I have a whole lot of those wrestling games right here. It's a bunch of them. So when I do this review, I'm not doing this review as a casual wrestling game player. I'm doing this review as a person who has played wrestling games for pretty much his entire life almost. Let me see, we got a bunch of these nice little wrestling games. WCW versus the World. We got all the SmackDown versus Raw games. The only game probably missing is probably WWE 12. But yeah, well, as you can see, there's a lot of them, yeah. Including Here Comes the Pain. But we're reviewing, like I said, WWE 2K16. So let's get this video started, son. And that's the bottom line. There tell me that WWE 2K16 is the best game ever, son. All these ratings about the game, it's so incredible. It's so amazing. Well, this video is not going to kick 2K16 and teach my bare little ass, but it's actually going to talk about the fact that this game was very enjoyable. I did like it. I did find it very fun and very exciting. But I want to also say that the game had its flaws. And we're going to talk about the flaws. Well, let's get the positive out the way first. Let's do that right. You have 120 plus wrestlers. Let's get that straight. 120 plus wrestlers. No doubt about it. Big roster for any WWE game that's ever been released. You have wrestlers from different eras. You have wrestlers from the 80s, 90s, and also into the present. Good stuff. For any wrestling fan who likes good old-fashioned wrestling and this and that, you'll love it. Now let's get to the negatives. For last gen, we didn't get the My Career mode, and I felt that was the biggest complaint I had with this game was My Career mode. I feel that if you had games in the past like WWE Here Comes the Pain and games of stellar time where you had a career mode or had some kind of interactive mode. Many people don't even talk about a game that I remember having on the Xbox called WWE WrestleMania 21. That game had a mode which is kind of similar to My Career mode on the next gen, or the current gen systems. And basically what that involved was that you created a wrestler, you went through training to go from velocity to heat, and then you finally went to the main roster of Raw and SmackDown. And that was pretty much the basis, I feel, for the current one, which is the My Career mode on Xbox One and PS4. With the PS3 and the Xbox 360, you didn't get this. And I don't see why this couldn't been implemented in the last gen systems, considering the fact that the NBA 2K series has this in their series. Why the WWE can have it in their series, their 2K series. I'm just saying. But also another thing that kind of knocked me about this game is the fact that some of the presentations are not what they should be. And that falls under the interests of certain wrestlers. For what I've seen so far is the New Day, Paige, Neville. They have interests where they're basically sluggish. You can tell that the frame rate suffers bad. I'm talking about like literally with the New Day entrance, it goes from going from like 30 to like probably 15 frames per second, and the New Day entrance is even worse because like they're like, especially when you have all three of the wrestlers out for the New Day entrance, it's bad, and I mean bad. And that kind of knocked me through a loop because I was like, fuck, can you not even get the entrances where they don't freaking move like they're walking in mud? But that is like just a knock that really just is just a knock, but at the same time, I feel if you're gonna sit there and charge people $60 fucking on a last gen game, and you still have to pay the $24 for the full access of all the content and all that shit, why the fuck can't you not make the game fucking playable? when it comes to entrances at least. I mean, we don't have my career mode. Let's give us that much. You know what I'm saying? I know what people say, well, Juggy, you're kind of kicking the game, this, that, this, and that. But no, I'm not. I'm being realistic. If you're going to fucking still have the average consumer, and that's for people, that's for the Black Ops 3 game also. If you're going to have the average consumer pay $60 fucking and they're still on last gen, that's why I feel that they should literally price cut the hell out of games, just like they did when the PlayStation 3 came out. The PlayStation 2 games were like literally $20 or $30 cheaper than the PlayStation 3 games, because they knew they were not going to give the consumer more from the next gen system than they had for the last gen. That's the same thing they need to do now. I feel it's a fucking slap in the face of the consumer, because literally you are trying to entice people to get to the next gen system, but you're giving them bullshit on the last gen system. It'll be best to not even fucking produce the game. That's why I hope next year they don't even make a WWE 2K17 for PlayStation 3 or 4. I mean, I'm sorry, PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, because it sits there and lets us know that this is what developers feel about our hard-earned money to buy their games. That being said, I want to sit there and just say this, because like I said, it's a real gripe for me, because it kind of lets you know what their idea of what they want or what they feel. It's all about the money. But at the same time, you're gonna lose a lot. That's a telltale sign when you have a game like Call of Duty that's sold like half price in of what the other Call of Duty games sold prior to it. Because consumers are sick and tired of getting kicked in the ass, and they're sick and tired of being run amok by the fact that the producers or the people that put these games out don't give a damn about the quote-unquote consumer. And I think that's a fucking shame. And I'm just going to be real with that. But that being said, this game to me, like I say, not kicking this game to the fullest. There's a lot of things I feel this game has going for it. First of all, like I just said, the positive roster, 160 plus roster. Now the Stone Cold Steve Austin showcase mode, awesome. I love it. So far I've been playing through it. I have a thorough feel of it. You get to play with the different eras of what Steve Austin was through his career, like Stunning Steve Austin when he wrestled in WCW, when he wrestled in ECW, and also when he wrestled in the WWF. And you get the feel of playing as Steve Austin through all those different eras with the different objectives they have to do in those different matches. I'm happy that they have implemented this. I know they're going to have a bunch of other showcase modes coming up as time goes on, and I really do like that feel of the game. Now going on to commentary, I feel the commentary is whack as fuck. Not including JBL. I guess JBL was too busy to do PS3 commentary, I guess. But at the same time, this is so fucking ridiculous. I sat there and said this in a comment on Noel's video where he was talking about the game itself, and I said, they said basically I feel that Michael Cole is asking Jerry the King Lawler questions, and the only response he gets is, that's what he gets. The game is so repetitive in with the commentary, it's sad. You have the same one-liners back and back and back and back. They constantly want to give a history about the wrestlers. I really do feel that if you're going to put a game out like this, have the commentators have something to say, have something to talk about, have some communication, interaction. They did this shit earlier with games like WCW Mayhem and WWF Attitude. Those games were fucking 20 years back in the day, seriously. Almost 20 years. WWF Attitude would be like 20 years ago in the next 2 or 3 years. And they were able to do commentary more advanced than they can do on these newer games. I think that's a cop-out. It's a cop-out for the people who buy your games. Can improve it. That's all I'm saying. As it relates to the actual gameplay, I have nothing against the gameplay because I enjoy playing the other games. Gameplay for the last year is pretty much the same thing, and you get the same feel of what you want as it relates to playing the games. So I'm not going to knock it. Creator Wrestler, I've been kind of dueling with it just a little bit, so I can't really give you too much info about that, but I noticed that it's the same kind of like creative features if you play 2K14. So you got the same thing. And like I said, from 2K15 to this game, I would say that it's a bigger leap as far as what it can do. But then again, there was a couple things that 2K15 did do right, and I will give it that.
Now back to the
NXT
ring.
mode that they had
Inside the ring again. Yeah, and they should be. This is where the action needs to be.
Replace my career mode, so we didn't have to
trouble.
feel like we were being rejected with the money that we put into it. And I'm speaking this for anybody's bought the last game. I've seen reviews of the newer gen version, and for all in all, it's actually better than the 2K15 that was on the Xbox One and PS4. But it's only because of our roster and also game modes. But at the end of the day, it's all up to the consumer, what they want and what they're trying to get to play this particular game. If you're a true WWE fan or a wrestling fan, I would suggest getting if you still have a last gen system, pick the game up. I feel it has a lot of replay value with all the wrestlers that you can play as on the game. It's a very, very good thing to know that you can do that. And also just looking at what you can do as it relates to creative features and all that. And I think, it's a buy. Buy it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, know what you're getting because you're knowing what the price of the game is and so forth. But yeah, this is Jagged82. Signing off.